whistle blow and she's coming round the bend. Yeah, here we go. All aboard, my friends, good to see you all again. We'll be driving to the pouring rain. We'll be driving away all your pain. Look out, here comes a music train.
Hello, everybody. This is Vessi Mink with the Music Train. It is season 7. We are so excited that you're here today. I have an amazing guest. The amazing singer-songwriter MJ Baker is here with me today for episode 2. I don't want to waste any time getting her on stage. I want to thank all the viewers for tuning in for all the seasons that we've had, and we're just so happy that you're here today. Big up to our guest last week who totally rocked it, the amazing Tony Parisi. Check him out at tonyparisi.com. Let's bring her up, Megan J. Baker, MJ Baker, to the Music Train.
Yay! Hello.
Hi, good to see you. The moment I heard your voice, I mean, what can anyone say? You have one of the most beautiful, strong voices I've ever heard in my life. And I'm really excited to get into your story. Do you remember that your first dream included being a musician? And is that what you do now? Are you a full-time musician?
I think I started my journey wanting to kind of fit in a certain bubble. You know, as an individual artist, am I neo soul? Am I R&B? Am I rock and roll? Am I country? You know, what am I? Because I grew up in a household, my mother didn't restrict the music, you know, which was a blessing because, you know, we went to church every Sunday. Most church kids, I know their parents were like, you're not going to bring that secular music in my house. But my mother was not that way because she was bumping Mary J. Blige. So, yeah, you know, she loves stuff like that. And so the only rule was it cannot have profanity. So, you know, between my brother bumping Bob Marley in his bedroom and, you know, my sister introducing me to rock groups like Heart and stuff like that.
Amazing.
I just grew up in a very diversified musical home. I think I'm at a place right now with my artistry as I have grown to learn myself. I'm at the place of saying, okay, what does my music look like? What do I want it to, the message that I wanted to have? And then I'm also growing into a place where I'm trying not to put as much pressure on myself when it comes to creation. I experienced some burnout. So it's probably a lot of producers out there like, what happened to MJ? Why isn't she hitting me up with songs? It's because for a whole 2 years, I was going through burnout and I didn't know it. I didn't know why. I just didn't have the inspiration to create or to write. After going through some dealing with therapy and different things like that, I realized that, hey, I need to slow down and I need to figure out what feels good to me versus just doing it because it looks good or it appears to be good. If that makes sense.
It does. You're giving me chills. The health of an artist, it's incredible. Your story is incredible. I want to drop one of your jams right now so the people can check it out. This one's called, should we do Midnight or should we do R&R?
Let's do Midnight Dreaming.
All right, let's go. It's released on all streaming platforms. I saw the video. It's an amazing song. I love the video. Here we go.
Here I am on the edge of my bed, just sitting here thinking about you and me, how we used to be. I miss the way you hold me and the warmth of your breath on the back of my neck. Made me feel so secure. Now this situation's got me second guessing. Was my decision for the best? Now I'm midnight dreaming. I'm tormented. made up my mind. I'm not coming back this time. I'm gonna keep moving forward. Gonna keep moving on. Moving on. I'm not coming back this time.
Amazing. Gave me chills. Oh my goodness. Midnight Dreaming. Wow. I am so in love with that song. Where your voice goes, it's just incredible. Midnight Dreaming. It's so cinematic. It's like incredible. Please tell me about that song. And I know songs are born of love and all the things that come along with that. That sure felt like that one was like a full 365 of just, all of it.
Well, I wrote that song, man, several years ago. I was in a situationship that was toxic, and it was.
I never heard that word before. Situationship. I like that. That's good.
So meaning that it's not a relationship, but you act like you're in a relationship, but it's not really. There's no real commitment, and I realized that it was not a healthy situation for me. And or the other person. So, made the decision that, that I was going to walk away. And, one night I found myself literally up at midnight, because the person had called me 2 days before. And, your mind starts going, have you ever been in that situation? Where it's like, your mind gets going and you're like,
don't call me. Don't call me. Don't call me.
Did I make the right decision? Did I do the right thing? And so then I found myself like up at midnight struggling with, man, should I call them, go over there, that sort of thing. And so that's when I just picked up my guitar, I looked at my guitar and I just started going, a midnight dreaming. And then I just started. So then I wrote the song. So that's how the song was birthed, out of a real life situation. And and so every single word I say in that song is real. It's totally true. And I find that when I perform it live, it really connects with a lot of people, because a lot of people have been in situations where you're like, you're right, it is toxic, I probably should walk away, or different things like that. So, yeah.
I'm thinking how many times that has happened to me. So many. I don't want to admit it. I do have a song called I wrote Therapy. It's called Therapy, which that pretty much laid it out that, I needed some. Anyway, This show is not about my. we should do a show together called Therapy, interviewing artists to talk about the complications of real life. Even though they make the song amazing, you're like, then do we relive the song when we hear it? So how do you feel like hearing it every time? Are you reliving it? Because it's so like you poured everything into it, MJ, everything, you can feel that. And again, everybody, it's available on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere music is. Yeah. And also you can reach out to this amazing artist on this amazing show. You can find her on IG, Facebook, as you read it there, scrolling, TikTok, YouTube, and all the places. You and I essentially, we should share with everybody how we met. Would you like to tell the story of how we met?
Well, six figure songwriting, right? Where we were learning how to write for Sync.
Did you know that that's what that was? Because when I saw the
advertisement, I had no clue.
When I saw the advertisement on Facebook, I thought that it was a songwriting contest where I could win a few $1,000s.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sonnet Simmons and John Kleinbell with Catch the Moon and Kathy Heller, because we all met that way. And how many songs have been born of, that was 3 months of some serious, intense songwriting. Yeah.
It was definitely, it was cool. I definitely thought it was a songwriting contest. And then going into learning that it was for how to write music for television, it was well known in certain circles, but not necessarily global. Like now everybody is trying to get into it and wanting to get into it and things like that.
The whole paradigm has changed with regard. I think about 2007, the music industry kind of started to fall apart, which in some ways is really good for the artist, being kind of at the center and control, realizing all the ways that they can protect themselves as an artist, release their own music, which you do. How long have you been releasing your own music?
Man, for almost 20 years. So
amazing.
So all on my own, in a sense, with help.
You're a true independent artist. So that's saying everything. Ani DiFranco, I know, was one of the first female artists who self-released her own music back in the day. Did I even know I wanted to be I don't know. I've been writing songs since I was in my teens, always born of heartache, of course, initially. It's almost like a catharsis, right? MJ, where it's like you need to write the song. Have you ever thought about doing a songwriting class? Or talking about more of like how to get people to like open up into that? Because hasn't it helped you kind of like become the person you are today?
It really hasn't. Actually, I am a songwriting coach, one of the services that I do offer. Because
Amazing.
one thing that I realized as an artist, we all have that dream that we can be a Beyonce, or we can be the next, Chris Stapleton, or whoever those artists are, but the truth in independence and being an independent artist, you have to have multiple streams of income. You have to have more than one way. And I think that's something that I learned from Six Figure Songwriting, right? I think that was the biggest thing that I took away from that experience, was that each and every person that was talking about, hey, I just got $10,000 for this, Starbucks commercial, but they also were still teaching or still doing different things, because those types of gigs don't come like every single day. And how do you fill in those gaps, right? So right now I have been working on building the songwriting coaching aspect of it for artists and for just everyday people, because some people just write a song to write a song and to get that creative,
and they feel and they feel so. I collaborate a lot too, and I people feel so like, I don't know, it changes them. It gives them something to launch and become. Like, they're just happy to be on the map, to have written something, or to, even if it's about them, like a custom song. I spoke with Maria Sikor just yesterday because I texted her because I was having you on, kind of like picking up the pieces of the past of all of the efforts and seeds that you've sown. Like you said, things don't happen, like with that Starbucks thing and a Sync commercial and making $10,000. You can't give up. You got to keep writing. Tilly, just to share real quick, I had met, obviously, MJ through Six Figure Songwriting, and I was on Jason Rothberg's Sync Report show. And there's a song that needed to be written, and that was the sync option that the director gave. She told the story of Tilly, and it's an amazing story of just courage. The lunch counter sit-ins back in the civil rights movement. I feel like we're still kind of in the civil rights movement. It's like this, it's still here, like
extended,
come on. And when people talk about like negatively about, the woke mentality, I always think, well, how woke are you that if you think that the woke mentality is so woke,
right.
How woke do you think you are? Maybe you're like, you just don't get it, what it's about, obviously. Not to say that there's not caveats in it that possibly have been taken advantage of by individuals, maybe even on the other side. Right. We don't even know. But to like downplay the whole thing. Anyway, I just got off on a tangent. So Tilly Bing Bryant, why don't you pick it up from here, the story, because it's such a good one. I'd love to hear it from your perspective.
I think this is the part that I love that can be, I think for creatives, this particular process in this story, I think is what keeps you in the mix and wanting to continue the process of writing and, things of that nature. Because Bessie called me, I don't know if it was in the middle of the day or whatever. And you were like, we have this 24-hour deadline. Can you sing the song? And then I was like, well, sure, just send me the lyrics. You tried
to talk me out of it. You were like, I feel like am I remembering correctly here?
At first you asked me to sing, right? And then you called me back and was like, actually, I need you to write the song. And
that's when I got off the phone and I was like, what are you doing? Call her back. She needs to.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't even know what I'm writing about. Like, what is this? And you gave me the synopsis and the trailer for the documentary. And I literally sat there and I think I wrote the song in like 15 minutes. It was like 10, 15 minutes. It just kind of started after I watched the video, heard the track. I was like, oh, okay.
What you wrote, we built from there. Andreas Smidlioff from Sweden, an amazing producer who we also met. Shout out to you, Andreas. He ended up producing that.
Well, I started thinking about, the songs that were sang during the civil rights movement. And then I just built the song based on inspiration from that.
Yeah,
which
Maria,
I know,
Yeah, she had mentioned, she had said, I wanted to have an old church, raw, foot stomping. I remember her words, foot stomping. Like, I wanted to be like the real deal, but with some new indie moment in the now. And it was just synchronicity how it happened. I mean, because you did it so fast. Yeah, so I wish we could play it for people. You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait, everybody. Guess what? Yeah. We won the competition. It's the title track for the movie, the Tilly Bing Bryant, Tilly it's called, and it's gonna be an amazing launch. We're excited to have Maria on here as well to talk about the show. So stay tuned, you guys.
I'm Maria Secor, and I am the writer and director of the feature documentary Tilly. For those of you who don't know, Tilly Bing Bryant led a life of purpose and courage. In the 1960s, she was a critical member of the civil rights movement. She marched with Dr. Martin Luther King. She strategized with a young congressman, John Lewis, and she participated in lunch counter sit-ins and was jailed many times. During one jail stay, she wrote her story on a now famous roll of jailhouse toilet paper. And when asked recently why she put her life on the line for the civil rights movement, she simply said, I want my children and future generations of all races and backgrounds to have freedom and a better life. This roll of toilet paper is being donated to the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History and Culture to preserve the history of the U.S. Civil Rights Movement and to empower the African American diaspora.
Back to the creation, just real quick, the creation of the Tilly song. To those people who are songwriters, or you're thinking to yourself, I could never be a songwriter. One thing that I'm learning is to release and let go and not to overthink. I think once you are able to get the directive of what the brief is, what the client is looking for, my most successful songs are when I don't think, when I don't overthink the process. And that's what I think with Tilly, because I grew up in the Black church, because, I lived through, through my brothers, my sisters, my parents, the civil rights movement, watching movies, things of that nature. It was easy to crank out the song and to be able to say, okay, here it is. Here's here's what I've got. And I think I was able to get that back to Vesey like the same day. And,
and it's interesting because all of us are like, we share that song, right? Yeah. But for you as an artist who you've lived your whole life, you have all the experience that you have, you wrote that song, Yeah. So from my end, I was the one that put the pieces together, but hold on a minute. Maria, Jason Rothberg, the six-figure songwriting. How far can we go back? Music comes from everywhere, but the songwriting ability that you portrayed and gave in that, you gave it all, and it's just a freaking winner. That song is so powerful. It's called, can we say what it's called? We can say what it's called, can't we?
Yeah, it's not out. It's not like people can find it anymore.
No, you can't find it yet. It's called
Leaning.
That's right. I love it so much. I just heard it yesterday and I was like, I can make a little promo and I could throw it on the music train. And I was like, Maria, she's like,
no.
She's like, unless you don't want it. I was like, no, forget it.
Right.
we want to keep it right where it's
at
the top as the title track. It's interesting. Also, I want to mention on the Sync Report show, there was a gentleman who's a music lifer and a teacher in Europe. Remember, he had mentioned something about, we had a little bit of remember the pushback that we got, just to give a little bit of drama here. There was some pushback and I just feel like we handled it like, it was live on Clubhouse, you guys, a live audio space talking about real emotions, talking about real people, having placed music into the bin for, to be regarded either yay or nay. Are they going to use it or not? So it was interesting.
I had no clue where I was very.
You were so professional. We were like, we didn't let it get in at all. We were like, I was like, what? And I literally on the back end as he was talking. So I was hitting people up because on Clubhouse you could private message people. Yeah. And so I was private messaging other people saying, am I missing something about what he's saying? Because I mean, here's the thing. As artists, we are sensitive about our creations, right? I think anybody, when you put your heart and soul into something, it's just like somebody calling your baby ugly. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a part of you. You gave birth to it. How dare you tell me my baby's ugly? But your baby might be ugly. It may not be the cutest baby right now. But when it grows up, they're gorgeous. But right now, kind of ugly. And so I'm saying that to say the song, I'm open to someone saying, hey, it's not my vibe. I think he wanted to be a part of it. I think he wanted to be a part of the musicality of it getting to the next level. You know what I'm saying? But we weren't prepared for that. Did you get a memo of any sort of script? I mean, we were like,
no,
what is this? But you were so elegant and you're like, okay, I hear what you're saying. Okay, really? Oh, interesting. What I'd like to know is, you're like, thank you for letting me know that you feel that way. That's right. a good way to say it. But I never heard, and that gentleman is an amazing musician. So sometimes I wonder if for females, now, if I'm wrong, tell me if I'm wrong. Sometimes for females, we might get a little bit more of especially in the music industry, you need to try harder. I mean, to me, that's a perfect piece. It was perfectly done.
Well, I think sometimes, okay, so I'm going to use this analogy. Right now, I am teaching American history in high school. Okay.
Amazing.
And when I went into the role, I went in expecting the kids to have the same mindset I had when I was in school about getting the work done. I wasn't really concerned about learning anything. I mean, I'm gonna be real. I just wanted to get out of high school. I was smart, but if the class was boring, I just wanted to get the work done so I could get out. Right.
Right.
But this current generation is all about feelings. So if they don't feel like it, they're not going to do it, right? No matter how advantageous just doing it looks to them. And so when I went in going, they're lazy, they're this, they're that, right? But that was my perspective based on how I my experience in high school was, or how my mindset was.
But that you're able to ascertain that right now is such an intelligent ability that a lot of people don't have, MJ. A lot of people don't have that.
Right. And because I practice self-awareness. So with that being said, once I realized after a couple of weeks, I said, wait a minute, what I'm doing is not working. So I need to pivot. I think I need to approach this differently. In order to make it palatable for them and for me.
To reach them. Right.
To reach them and to shift So then I realized, is it me or is it them? But so if it's me, let me switch the way I'm thinking, because the way I'm thinking may not be relevant. And I'm saying that to say that the person who, you know, spoke negatively, you know, concerning the song and the approach and different things like that, I feel like they were coming from the perspective of what was when they were.
Totally.
And did not have the grace the grace for me. Right?
I wanted to anything. I don't even remember what I said. All I know is I kept it like I'm representing here. And thank you.
I think a lot of people were just confused. And my whole thing is like, rather than you know, put
fan the flame.
Rather than put me down personally, just go ahead and say you don't like the song.
Yeah, it was a reflection of his inability, value of how it had already been a decision made by a group of women. I mean, and that's powerful. And I'm proud to be a female, guys. Yeah. I love men. I'm a feminist. Let's talk about feminism. What's up with people thinking that feminism is like a bad word? There's so many people on I'll say it on the X app. Hi guys, I know you're watching now and I've got like a lot of friends on the X app, but they don't want to hear the word feminism. They think it's a bad word. It just means equal rights, y'all.
Well, I think too, it's like feminism is okay. There are two sides to every coin. There's a yin and a yang, right? And so this is my perspective. Things can be birthed in the darkness, right? So I'm learning to not consider everything as a bad, but to say if something is coming up, then that means it needs my attention. Why is this particular situation coming up? Why is this feeling coming up? And so we're taught in our society that if something comes up and it doesn't make us feel good, that we should ignore it rather than acknowledging it and saying, what is this trying to tell me? Why?
Unpacking it. Yeah.
Right. Because society evolves. And so I'm bringing this up to say there are two sides to feminism. You have toxic feminism, right? And I feel like toxic feminism says it's like anything that says the only person that is right is me is right. It's not, everything needs a balance, right? So I think that the people who are against it either don't understand it or have had a bad experience with someone who has called themselves a feminist and it hasn't been right. It's just like with civil rights, right? A lot of people think that civil rights or even DEI is just about color, but it's not. It's an extension to say, you know, a person with disabilities has civil rights.
Exactly.
A person, you know, it's not just about your color, but it's
females.
It's addressing women. It's addressing women. It's addressing the disabled. It's addressing veterans. It's addressing the elderly.
It's addressing men that don't have the confidence to speak up for themselves and that have been sheltered their whole lives. I mean, you know.
So it's really to address and to protect those who have been disenfranchised. So I think that any concept or anything, when we talk about feminism or whatever the case may be, I think all of those things have two sides to them. We have to understand that both sides need each other. It's just a balance, right?
And blanket statements are so harmful because you have a whole bunch of people following suit, like one person that they actually that is doing quite a lot of good for the world. Let's use an example. Then is taking a whole group of people and then posting things saying that the whole of DEI is like, I don't agree with that. So I'm on your side here because I think that conversation needs to be had more often and that people who disagree need to speak to each other to understand where the other is coming from. You know, the political landscape right now is just insane. I know there's so much that we don't know. And it's, even if it appears that we might think we know, have all the truth and all the pieces are there, I don't know. I'm not one of the big players. I you know what I'm saying? Like, so as a songwriter, a political activist, I feel like you're a political activist too. You have songs that are, I mean, the Tilly song, Leaning, I mean, that's a political, that's a song. That's a movement. A whole movement is standing behind that song. I just want to thank you again for being here today, Megan. You've been an amazing guest. We have just about 20 minutes left.
Play R&R.
All right. Do you want to tell us about this track?
R&R. I'm actually you're getting an exclusive.
Yes.
So R&R is an acronym for rest, relax and release. And basically I was in a relationship for 6.5 years. And I wrote this song as an ode to my partner at the time. And, you know, I was in love. And so this was kind of like my one of my many love songs to him. And with that, it's one of my favorite songs, actually. And the exclusive is I took the music down years ago because we had broken up, and I was so heartbroken over the relationship ending that I just couldn't hear the music anymore. It just upset me too much. And so just literally 2 weeks ago, I just started singing the song in my mind, and people would text me or inbox me online and be like, "Where is R&R? Why did you take it down?" And I was like, I wouldn't explain. I was just like, well, I just did. And it made an emotional decision, but I really was just trying to heal, and it was just so hard to hear that song or play it. And so I just took it down altogether. And so 2 weeks ago, I kept hearing the song in my head.
In your head, it revisited
you. So,
wow.
So, you know what? Let me play
it's interesting when that happens.
Yeah. And so I played it, and I was like, I fell in love with the song all over again.
I'm so excited to play it.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm going to put the song back out. So when you ask, okay, what songs do you want to put? Even the cover is going to be new. Even the cover.
I love the cover.
Yeah, with the photo that I sent you. Yeah. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I took those photos, because it would be a perfect cover for the song. So
let's go. Okay, you heard
R&R.
R&R, let's go. Here we go. Oh my goodness.
So baby, I know that you are out there working, building for our future. And sometimes it's hard for us to be able to see each other. But I know we've been brought together for a greater purpose, and so I'm gonna remain patient. But while I do, just give me an opportunity to take care of you. I know lately things have been tough, and you've been struggling, going through so much. With me by your side, praying daily, God make a way for my baby. And I don't complain, because I know this is just a part of our story. If we hold on, we'll see so much more. So just rest your mind and unwind and take your time to forget our troubles, baby. Relax, release, make love, be easy. Relax, release, make love. down, and distractions from everywhere got you spinning around. But for a moment, let's block it out and just pretend that we're together with lots of money on an island. So baby, just sit back and take good care of you. We'll get you in the mood, and I'll fix your favorite drink too, baby. Oh baby, relax, relax, release, make love, make love. Oh baby, why don't you take your shoes off and let me relax, take care of you, make love. Here's your cigar and your favorite drink too, baby. Oh, relax, maybe I'll play a little melody for you. Your favorite tunes, maybe, baby. Oh, relax, we'll put on a little Marvin Gaye, maybe some yoga will do for you, baby. Relax, really. No, put your stuff down. Put the phone, turn the phone off. Okay, just come over here. No, come over here. I got you, baby. I cooked dinner, I got your drink, I got your cigar. Just relax. Don't worry about tomorrow. No, I got you. Don't worry about it, baby. I got you.
Amazing. I'm relaxed. I love it. It's so good. Who produced it? And that horn. Oh my goodness. Who's playing horn?
Actually, it's a great musician. His name is D'Angelo Green out of Jacksonville, Florida, where I'm from.
Wow.
So I asked him, I said, would you put a trumpet on this song? I just wanted to, because the inspiration was like Harlem Nights, the Cotton Club type vibes.
Love it.
Yeah,
hey, if you ever wanted to do a Music Train exclusive and invite any musical guests for you to interview, and I'll kind of produce it. That's what I can offer you. Just if you ever want that, to just have a musical conversation with somebody, I'd love to host it and help promote it. You're amazing. Thank you so much for being on the show. I have one more question before we go to our fun. You may not have known about this before. I had mentioned it in the green room before we started the show today. But Music Train was born. Me writing a song live with a couple words from guests in the studio audience on Connect Club with BK Han. He conceptualized the show, and so season 1 is all NFTs because I was recording here the song that I wrote on the spot with a couple words from guests, and then I would send it to BK. He would mint it on blockchain. So we have a little collection. Season 1, folks, is all NFTs. So we're going to do one together. If you'd be so kind to give me a few words, I'd love it. Man, what if I write something that you end up like taking to the studio and singing? I'm making a wish right now. This is actually going to, off the studio here, if you could hop off the Music Train and collaborate with any artist, living or legendary, who would it be and why?
Ooh, Michael Jackson.
Yes.
And the reason why Michael Jackson is because if you listen to watch any documentaries or interviews that people have done about him, there was one documentary where they had shared his recordings and were talking about how he wrote Thriller and how he produced it. Ooh. And how he would send vocal recordings, not just of him singing, but of the instruments. Really? Or he would say, "Oh, I hear something like," or something like that, and then would send it to the producers and say, what is this? What can this be? And they would
Quincy Jones, right? Quincy Jones was like his producer.
Yeah, Quincy Jones, but the other people that he was also, that was under Quincy, right? So,
right.
But he would send those sounds and say, can you guys create this? Is this a horn? He would just, so I loved his ability to keep his creativity childlike, in the sense of like not being fearful or afraid of, I hear a hum or a whatever in this song. And a lot of times that's how I work when I'm, talking to producers, and I'm, they may create the beat, but I realize as an artist, we also can get in there and help them produce it, because production isn't just the creation of the beat, but it is also the arrangement and the sound, and what is this going to sound like, and or whatever. And sometimes you can hear the music and you may not know to say that's a horn or those are keys. Or like yesterday I was working with a producer in one of my songwriting coaching sessions, and I was working with some young people from the community, and we were writing a song, and the producer was like, hey, what do you think about this sound? And I said, you know what? I hear something like a, and I was like, I don't know what that is. And he was like, well, does it sound like keys? What do you think that's guitar? I said, I have no clue. But all I hear is a,
You heard it.
And so then he was like, okay. So he started going through the keys and looking for sounds. And so that's what I would love to sit in on the session with Michael Jackson, where
producing you. Yes, where that kind of creativity is allowed. Sorry, I spoke over you. Where he could produce you. You guys could co-produce a song together. There should be a Michael Jackson AI app.
Right.
There should be a Michael Jackson AI app. We got to get in touch with the Jacksons. And Michael produced a song with Michael. He was one of my favorites. He'll always be one of my favorites. When I was a kid, I think in the single digits, I had a record player. I had his first record. I remember him in that white tux with the black shirt, lean to the side.
Right.
You could see his tendons. The shot was so like, it was so like, I just was like, I loved Michael Jackson. I mean, he was just the best. He is one of the very best that ever will be. No doubt.
Yeah, definitely. And I would say someone living would be Tank. He's an R&B artist. Cool. He's an R&B artist. He's written for a lot of people, but talented in he makes good feel music.
Can we get in touch with him? Can Music Train extend an invitation to Tank?
I hope, yeah, definitely. Tank. He's
if I could get Tank on this show, then I'm going to be inviting you too.
Yes, please do. But he's living, and I love his music. I love who he is as a musician and as a creative, and I think that he and I could make some really great music together. So
I think it's going to happen. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Wait, is it TANK or TANQ?
TANK. Tank.
All right. What a name. Oh my gosh. Okay. I can't believe the hour's almost done here. We got to write a song right now. So let me grab my.
Okay.
I wanted to actually hear you play a song. If you had your guitar to close it out, what do you think? If you're feeling it.
Let's see what this written song is our makeup song.
All right. So I need two words, one or two words.
Okay, let's say octopus.
Oh boy.
And spaghetti.
Okay. And then I'm going to write it. And then maybe you should grab your guitar and maybe you write something with two words for me. Why don't we? I've never done that before.
Okay.
What, do you want to do that? Okay. All right, here we go. I'm feeling like an octopus again. Arms all over, trying to figure out everything again. Made spaghetti tonight, it didn't get eaten again. The kids are like, Mom, we want something else. Oh, have you ever felt like you do too much? Is it really happening to us? Oh, feeling like an octopus, feeling like an octopus, feeling like an octopus, but that's us. Hold on, could you pass me that? Oh wait, I can get it myself.
I love that. Oh my God, you should definitely finish that.
All right.
You know what? I would have like on the chorus because I like stuff to be odd. I would say feeling like an octopus. Means we get it and I didn't need to eat too much.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
That would have been like the chorus because I like that. I like that offbeat. That's
Will you
why
help
I love.
Me write it? Well, we can NFT it.
Yeah, we can collaborate on it.
Why don't we collaborate? This could be the first NFT. It could be a collaboration.
Yeah.
We were talking about what's different about season 7 as opposed to all the other seasons. I minted 1 or 2 episodes in season 6, I think. Jacob Hades and and maybe one other. But we were thinking of minting the actual episode. Would you be okay with that if this episode was minted on the blockchain?
So what does that mean when you say minted on the blockchain?
That means that a receipt would be made of it. There would be a digital, it would be available on OpenSea in a private collection called Music Train, where people could check out the show there. And if I made multiple editions of it and you open up a digital wallet, then I can send you, I don't know, if I make, let's say 33 editions of it and I gave you a third of them, you would have all those editions to either sell in the future or give away or just keep in your wallet. Does that make sense?
No, but let's talk about it offline.
All right.
Okay.
Well, if we write this song, Octopus, we can mint that and then we could do the same thing with it. But very cool. All right. So I would love to hear if you're feeling it. I'll give you a couple words, or you could close us out with your thing and I can highlight you actually in spotlight here. So here we go. What do you think? Okay. Why don't you do one of yours? We'll close out with you. I think we should do that.
Okay.
All right. I love you, girl. Thank you so much for being here today. You guys, thank you everybody for tuning into the Music Train. This has been fantastic. Thank you everybody for sharing and supporting independent artists. Amazing, legendary singer-songwriter MJ Baker's here with us today for episode 2 of season 7. Find her on IG, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and all the places where music is streamed. Thank you so much for tuning in. Next week, we've got Dead Freddy here, punk rock Lithuanian, legends of Chicago. Don't miss it. Here we go. What are you going to play for us?
I'm going to play a song. It's called Something More.
Okay.
And I'll just do the verse chorus into the bridge.
Okay, I'm going to spotlight you. Here we go.
Okay. It was in a dream. Your face was shown to me. Then like yesterday, you appeared without question. We connected beyond the surface, straight to the soul. And I'm scared, and I'm unsure, but I'm willing to go forward and endure. Yes, I'm nervous, and I'm insecure, but I believe in, oh yeah, something more. Something more. You on this journey home, 'cause nothing in life is worth it without the risk. Tell me what you want on this journey home, 'cause nothing in life is worth it without the risk. Oh, 'cause yes, I'm scared and I'm unsure, but I'm willing to go forward and endure. Yes, I'm nervous and I'm insecure, but I believe it, oh yeah, something more, something more.
That was absolutely beautiful. Oh my God, I'm in love with that song. Thank you everybody for tuning into the Music Train. If there's one thing that you could give to a young songwriter just stepping into their own musical tracks, what would be your advice? And then we'll give it a good day to everybody for today. We got things to do, places to be. We got to get on the Music Train.
Yes. One major thing that I would say is learn yourself and be yourself. Definitely, because we have so many people trying to be like so many other people, but really what sells is you.
Absolutely. And it's missing all the missing pieces.
Yeah. The authenticity. Yeah.
Yes. Well, you're one of the most authentic people I've ever met. I love you to death. I mean, I love you to life. My mom corrected me the other day. She said, don't say I love you to death. Say I love you to life, which actually another one of my friends said that. I love you to life. Thank you so much for being here today. Megan Baker, MJ Baker, find her on all the places. We'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Here we go. I heard that whistle blow and she's coming round the bend. Here we go. All aboard, my friends. Good to see you all again. We'll be driving to the pouring rain. We'll be driving away.